When thinking about the greatest eras of horror, our minds of course rush to the 80s, with blood-covered slashers and unique monsters, from Freddy Krueger to Michael Myers to Jason. All the best, I love them. However, the most beloved monster genre has come in recent decades, with the 2000s offering us some of the most terrifying creatures ever seen on screen. From vampires to ghosts to werewolves, today on Top 5 Scary Videos I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 5 scary horror movie monsters from the 2000s. Before we begin though, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. And with that, let's jump in. In at number 5 we have Sam from Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat is a 2007 horror anthology movie directed by Michael Dougherty. It relates 4 Halloween horror stories with a common element. Sam, a mysterious child trick-or-treater wearing orange footy pajamas with a sack over his head. The character makes an appearance in each of the stories whenever a character breaks Halloween traditions. Now Sam is the brainchild of director Michael Dougherty, with the character first appearing in his 1996 short film Season's Greetings, and then in Trick or Treat. Sam initially appears to be an innocent young child, however, once his mask is removed, it reveals his demonic nature, his bald, bulbous head covered with orange flesh, and a wide mouth full of sharp, crooked teeth. His head as a whole resembles a traditional jack-o'-lantern. On top of that, he also carries around a sack full of candy, razor blades, and even a live cat. Now, Sam is the spirit of Halloween night, symbolizing both its innocent whimsy and underlying darkness. Every Halloween he appears in a different town, ensuring that the Halloween spirit is kept alive, and punishes those who would ignore or defy traditions. His weapon of choice is of course a large jack-o'-lantern lollipop which has been bitten into a shiv, and later on in the movie he uses a chocolate bar with a razor blade sticking out. Despite being incredibly sadistic, he is known to show mercy to those who change their ways and pay respect to Halloween. Coming in at number 4 we have Clover from Cloverfield. Directed by Matt Reeves and released in 2008, Cloverfield is a horror movie produced by J.J. Abrams and uses found footage to follow 5 young New York City residents fleeing from a massive monster and other creatures that attack the city while they are having a farewell party. The primary monster of the movie is Clover, the name given to this underwater life form. The monster is said to come from the Atlantic Ocean, where it was awakened by Tagarato submarine sent down from Tri-Station to investigate. From there, the monster rampages through New York City, destroying absolutely everything in its path, with the 5 characters attempting to flee as fast as possible. The origins of the monster are only revealed in the film's viral marketing campaign, with Abrams wanting the movie to be realistic. If a monster did attack a city, any city, civilians would have no idea where it came from. Many speculate that Clover is of extraterrestrial descent, however, J.J. Abrams denied this. What we do know is this: Clover is a deep-sea monster with an unknown history. However, according to some, it has a very long lifespan, as the creature is still an infant during the events of the movie. Clover is around 240 to 300 foot high, with a long trifork tail. It is covered in grey skin, with its head being sharp and bony, and of course the monster has a large appetite, feasting throughout the movie on people as well as horses. Coming in at number 3 we have Mary Shaw from Dead Silence. Released in 2007 and directed by James Wan, Dead Silence is a horror film that follows Jamie Ashen, who after his wife meets a grisly end, returns to their creepy hometown of Ravens Fair to unravel the mystery of her murder. Once there, he discovers the legend of Mary Shaw, a murderer ventriloquist whose eerie presence still looms over the town. As he desperately digs for answers, Jamie encounters the curse that took his wife's life and threatens his own. Now, the primary antagonist of the movie is Mary Shaw. To quote the nursery rhyme about her, "Beware the stare of Mary Shaw. She had no children, only dolls. If you see her in your dreams, be sure you never ever scream or she'll rip your tongue out at the seam." Nasty stuff. Mary Shaw is an undead ventriloquist who has lost her voice and seeks vengeance against the small town of Ravens Fair. She was born in the year 1869, and it's said that as a child she had no friends, only her dolls. But as an adult she became a very authoritative and successful ventriloquist. She ended up cherishing her dolls so much that she regarded them as her own children, with her favourite being named Billy. Now, the movie didn't perform that well, with it for the most part receiving scathing reviews. However, the terror of Mary Shaw is undeniable, and we should give credit where credit is do. In at number 2, Crawlers from The Descent. Directed by Neil Marshall and released back in 2005, The Descent is a British horror movie that follows 6 women who, having entered a cave system, struggle to survive against the humanoid creatures inside, also known as Crawlers. The Crawlers are a race of cave-dwelling humanoids who have adapted to near-constant darkness and lost any previous trace of humanity they may have had, ultimately becoming monsters. They are said to have existed for many years underground in a remote cave system which was undiscovered by the modern world, which in turn allowed the Crawlers to breed and evolve in isolation from humanity, becoming creatures that will only ever leave the cave system during the night to hunt for food. Now, Crawlers are blind but can detect their prey via sounds and echolocation, with the creatures being perfectly adapted to life underground and can climb walls with ease, move with great speed, and have incredible strength. They are also pack hunters who can work as individuals or as a group to hunt and take down their prey. They are animal-like and thus have little intelligence beyond that of an animal. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. First and foremost, Jeepers Creepers was released back in 2001 and directed by Victor Salva. The film follows 2 siblings, played by Gina Phillips and Justin Long, who become targets of a demonic creature in rural Florida. Now, this demonic creature is known as Creeper. It is an ancient, mysterious demon who seeks organs from humans to replace its own old and damaged ones. It will hunt for 23 days every 23rd spring, by scaring its victims and using the scent of fear to determine what part of them it needs to feast on. To quote Giselle Gay Hartman in the movie, "It eats lungs so it can breathe and eyes so it can see. It all becomes a part of it. Whatever it eats becomes a part of it." Now, at first the Creeper was thought to be some kind of demon worshipper when the siblings first stumbled upon its hideout. Although it often wears a tattered black trench coat, the Creeper on closer inspection is shown to appear incredibly inhuman. It has wispy white hair, its skin dark, almost reptilian-like, with a mouth filled with fangs. The Creeper seems to be incapable of speech, however in the first movie it was heard whistling the tune of the song Jeepers Creepers, as well as the farmer in the dell in the third movie. Now, some history about the Creeper for you curious folks out there. Prior to the events of the Jeepers Creepers franchise, the Creeper was an immortal being who lived throughout countless centuries in human history. Now, when the movie first came out, comic books were made to accompany it. In the comics, it was said that the Creeper orchestrated a human sacrifice ritual during the time of the Aztecs. And when Europeans first arrived to new lands years later, the Creeper wasted no time in devouring the crew, in turn making him responsible for the disappearance of the Roanoke colony. The Creeper is inhumanly powerful, being able to tear victims apart without much effort. It also has regenerative abilities. On top of that, it has 2 massive wings folded against its back, which are incredibly strong, being able to carry the weight of itself and also a full-grown human. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? Are there any horror movie monsters that we missed? Which decades would you like us to cover next? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos, top 5 scary phobias that really exist. Dark Dragon Gamer said, "I'm glad I'm not the only one who has thalassophobia. Believe me, I have it and I have it bad. I saw something again pop up on TikTok yesterday and I had to scroll by so fast. Anything to do with the ocean, the deep ocean, dark ocean, creatures in the ocean, not here for it." Jen Hill said, "I have a fear of balloons, the sound of them being blown up when they are touched and the sound of them popping." I think a lot of us have the fear of balloons popping. Do you, Chris? It's scary. Like, it shouldn't be. It's just a small, like, rubbery thing. Like, it's not gonna hurt us, but the idea of someone blowing up a balloon to the point that you know it's gonna explode, it's the anticipation. Scares me. I don't like it. I have to cover my ears. Single Dad said, "Lucy relinquo speculum phobia." I think that's it. Fear of Lucy leaving the channel. If only that was a real phobia. But I hope you have it. You should all be scared. I'm not going anywhere, but I want you to have the fear. Commander Shepard said, "I have telephonophobia, fear of making/taking calls. I am fine with texting and using my mobile, but if I need to make a call, it causes me to stress out." Honestly, I think a lot of people have this, especially in modern day, because we're so used to just talking to people online that when we actually have to talk to someone in person or on the phone, we don't know how to function. I'm that way sometimes. Like, it's fine once I'm on the phone, I remember how to function, but the gearing up, ready to make a phone call, and rehearsing what you're gonna say, I think we all can agree that we all go through that. Right, Chris? Do you?
Yeah, especially like you're
yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's that stress. Like, I don't know. You never know what's gonna happen. You don't know what the other person's gonna say. You can't see what they're seeing. Like, it's stressful. So I think we all have this. Like, it fucks stresses me out. I had to take a phone call earlier. I had to make a phone call earlier. Oh, I had to gear myself up. I took a lap around the building. Melinda Heron said, "Hey Lucy, I love your vids on all the channels. Interesting fact, you and I share a birthday. All hail the reigning forces that are Caps. All bow and hail the Dark Queen." Good for you. January 18th is a great day. The best day. But what year were you born? 93 as well? Let me know. 93 is the best year because it was the year I was born. William Alwood said, "My mum used to have a phobia of beetroot." That's very strange. My mum has a phobia of buttons. And I wish I was joking, but I'm not. When I was younger, I would leave buttons around and scare her. But she can't, like, if she's holding it, it's fine. If she's sewing it onto something, it's fine. If it's attached to something, it's fine. If it's on the floor, all hell's breaking loose. If a button's on the floor and she sees it, she's out the window, you know? Mum, if you're watching this, it's strange and now everyone knows you have a fear of buttons.
You could have inherited that as well.
Pardon?
You could have inherited that as well.
I'm glad. I fucking love buttons. I'll hold them all day long. Put a button on the floor, I'll go pick it up with ease. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, I'll see you later.